I'm with shits. I'm with shits. I'm with shits. I'm with shits. I view my adversary through a microscope as a small thing. They wax fat, we ballin'. Babylon keep falling. By all means, these saltines is cracker dust. Esau won't respawn, they the soul people we have to crush. They shackled us, we out the cuffs. It's short turn, the slow burn till after dusk. My Caucasian plantation, those reparations won't amount to much. That blonde hair with them blue eyes and that pig flesh won't hassle us. Shawty hollering that hee-haw, cause that gluteus on Maximus. My whip drip on 100 thighs. We gunning down, you runaways. They from the cave, not underpaid. I'm Munga slaves. Just for fun, play Hunger Games. Put you in the front like you running things. Uriah, any back talk, you kiss the asphalt, and I sing it to the Messiah. You'll be auctioned off with the shipping costs. I'll purchase some good diver. Bought my Donald Trump and my Richard Nixon. I'm Willie Lynch incarnate. Keep a short leash on you varmint. String you up if you brave-hearted. Only thing red, white, and blue will be your remains washed off of my garment. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch. I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch. I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch. I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang, ayy.
Went from riding on the boat to hanging on oak. God hate these white folks, you can say what you want. This ain't a joke, I ain't laugh at shit. They gon' make it to the kingdom, yeah, with shackled wrists. Yeah. Put they ass in chains with a yoke of iron. Whip hit his back, sound like I opened fire. I ain't gon' lie, I wanna see him suffer. Can't escape cause under the sun, the place of judgment. Yeah, I got a perpetual hatred. They scared of replacement theory cause they destined for slavery. You gotta hear, this the patience of the saints. Many prophets desired to see that day. UPK, we gon' take the kingdom. He don't deal with other nations, he gon' plead with heathens. I ain't gon' stop until I see him in the cotton field. Ain't no other option, I'ma die real.
I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. I'm with shits like Willie Lynch, I wanna see him hang. Ay.
It was all good just a week ago. Riding through the hood with my speakers low. I wish a nigga would try my peoples though. We out back staking houses when the beef would go. Oh, tiptoeing in my Jordans. White or brown, look up, pick your poison. They ain't patting down what? Okay, if God bring the fours in. Hip full of heat and it's scorching, scorching. We don't talk too much, you niggas overshare. Only time to function jumping when we over there. Yeah, it's that UPK soldier gear. REI ice with the fur like a polar bear. And my shorty, she a rider. Pistol in her purse like the hider. Monet in her power. Only operate how I allow her. You just talk the game, Colin Coward. I'm fresher than the produce at Whole Foods. You ain't stepping how I'm stepping, that's my old shoes. Told you you ain't fucking with me and that's old news. We'll record you beat up on camera, not pro. Nigga, this the vibe. We the realest niggas at the tribe. Feel it, put your pistols in the sky. You know this the vibe. Playing like you got a lot of lives. Really, nigga, you don't wanna die. You know this the vibe. Nigga, we the realest at the tribe. Feel it, put your pistols in the sky. You know this the vibe. Playing like you got a lot of lives. Really, nigga, you don't wanna die. You know this the vibe. That UPK cover got some stripes on it. G-shot, not a lot of ice on it. Not a lot of niggas pay this price shit. I can bet my life on it. You'll get your shot and go light on it. I go tie game OT. Last bucket of the night and go mic on it. Sights on it. I don't need a beam. Make a nigga wake up like a fucking bad dream. You sent shots, I'm sick of her fucking vaccine, yeah, I mean. I ain't a killer, brody, I ain't had to be one. But get it twisted, I start to popping like I'm rerun. Living like a sucker, ain't no option where we from. I was told go and get a gun and keep one. Tribe vibes got me feeling like a wise guy with some mob ties. While you wearing purses, nails painted like some mob wives. I advise you to follow rules we abide by. You ain't got the app, get the side, it's the vibe. We the realest niggas at the tribe. Feel it, put your pistols in the sky. You know this the vibe. Playing like you got a lot of lives. Really, nigga, you don't wanna die. You know this the vibe. Nigga, we the realest out the tribe. Feel it, put your pistols in the sky. You know this the vibe. Playing like you got a lot of lives. Really, nigga, you don't wanna die. You know this the vibe. Nigga, that's the tribe.
68 and 68. The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Slavery. This time it was gonna be ships. By way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. We hit these shores, we were sold for slave man and slave woman.
We won't let it change us, even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it. They want a fame, they want a clout. That's why they doubt. I got them black, I want a class. And I shut my mouth. This was way before polite, before I came to campsites. I came broken and contrite. I just wanted to live right, clean my soul and give my life. Had to give up on my vice. I got a fog out my head. I was raised from the dead. I put down that weed and I cut off my dreads. For before I could lead, I had to learn to be led. Now I'm a bad motherfucker. Walk around and I straight flex on suckers. No one specific, I'm talking to all of you busters. Straight from the gutter, me and my brother, we the long supper. Now, running it like a conductor. Hebrew Academy, I'm the instructor. 14 written all on my cover. Men of war like we hopped at a Hummer. Look like you wanted my trooper could cut you. There is one camp, there is not another. One West, UPK. One West, UPK. One West, one West, one West, UPK. One what? UPK. One what? UPK. One what? One what? One what? UPK. Me and all of my Oyes, hold it, shit down, right here, all day. Shalom, wagwan, sa, passe, is we, damn niggas, yatu, sabe, hey. We gon' change the world, we won't let it change us. Even when they switch sides and they wanna change up. Fucking with my brother, then your life in danger. Got no fear like I got one in the chamber. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it now. Since day one, we been about it, nigga. I've been going hard since the day that I found it. It's 144 to the day the Lord counted. I'ma keep my head up to the day that he crowned it.
save all them tapes right there. Yeah. And then the reading right here is, she asked if I'm a prophet. I said absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And when I walk through the door, bitch, you best salute me, best salute me, absolutely. She asked if I'm a prophet. I said absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And when I walk through the door, bitch, you best salute me, best salute me, absolutely, absolutely.
Bible in my right and a chopper in my other hand.
Everybody is trying to find and recreate their identity of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Every few years, black people get a new identity.
America wants the black man, the Latino man, the Native American man to his blood, sweat, and tears. They work us to the damn bone.
Come and pay a visit for your last year. I'm truly up. Make a move on us, we tune you up. Absolutely, man. We know you future. You ain't fooling us. In the cut with them bad bitches trying to cool with us.
This whole world was made for blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And the other nations know it. And because the other nations know it, they make sure to keep us underneath them. Come upon before the fifth angel of the Lord come upon you, black man, Native American Indian man, Hispanic man. You understand? It's about to get oppressive out here. You only have I know, man. You only have I know of all the families on the earth, man. Right? You only have I know, man. So therefore, he gonna punish us for all of our iniquities, which is our sins, man. One West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Jerry Hunt. We are not affiliated with any fake Israelite groups or anybody else. Today we're bringing out the truth of the Bible, that the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
He gon' spot you, then get you. You don't speak about it, it's not an issue. This one West world got a ring to it. I married the Jew, put a ring to it.
she asked if I'm a prophet. I said absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And when I walk through the door, bitch, you best salute me, best salute me, absolutely. She asked if I'm a prophet. I said absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And when I walk through the door, bitch, you best salute me, best salute me, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. We in here. What's going on? All right. We in here. All right. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Who we got in here? All right. We got Sister Tawana. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Yahshua. We have Akwav Hadassah. We have Officer 1000 Matazah Karash. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. We have young man David Parker. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, checking in for Richmond, Virginia. We have Princess Tazara. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Tazara. We have Sister Deborah. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Yes, Salam. All right, we have Sister Taronda. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right, we have Chupa Ayan. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. All right, we have Officer Carl. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Let's tighten up. All right, we have Sister Shakar. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua, checking in from West Virginia. All right, we have Brother Kushar. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, checking in from Richmond, Virginia. All right, we have young man Jabbar. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, checking in from Greensboro, North Carolina. All right. We have Akwa Tower Boss, Shalom Yahweh Shema Thah Bashem Yahweh Shah, checking in from Winsburg, Virginia. All right. We have Officer Yabakar, Shalom Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bakatah, checking in from North Virginia. All right. We have Akwa Azar Kha, Shalom Yahweh Shema Thah Bashem Yahweh Shah, checking in from Norfolk. All right. Damn right. We got a full house. Everybody's in attendance. I think I'm kind of nervous. I think I'm feeling kind of nervous. All right. All right. My lightning is a little. I want to fix my lightning real quick. Let's see something. Salakia. Let's see if I can do something real quick to fix me. Fix my lighting, because I want to be able to, everything to be copacetic, everything to be clear on my end. All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on, Salakia. All right, how was that? I think that's a little bit better, because I feel like I was fading out. Might be a little, maybe I get more close to this wall. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, Most High Christ. All right, let's go ahead. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. One West started out of Harlem, New York, 125th Street. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite camp or Christian church. We teach the truth about the Bible, about the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians today. And today I'm here to bring out, we need to regroup. We need to regroup. All right, let's go ahead and clap it up. Let's go ahead and clap it up. We need to regroup. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Thah Bashem Yahweh Shah, Sister Ra'ah, checking in from Chester, VA. All right. Proud to see that sister back and running. We got this wonderful feast day that's coming up on Sunday, and I'm happy to see that Sister Ra'ah is up and well. If you know, you know. All right. I'm happy to see that all the sisters in here and brothers in here is up and well. All right. But today's topic tonight is that we need to regroup. It's a lot of things that's going on. All right. It's a lot of things that's going on in this world. We got the assassination of Christian Kirk. All right. We have a war brewing up over there in the Middle East, right? With Iran, Afghanistan, and all them, right? They're trying to fight for territory, land, and oil, and somehow the United States is a part of it as well. So we got some things brewing up, right? And that's why it's time to regroup, right? That's why it's time to regroup, because there are things brewing up that Christianity is blinding us from seeing, right? Or just blind you from seeing. All right, if you're part of that Christian church. But we know here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we will not be blinded from that man-made religion, that Christianity religion. All right. That's why it's important to attend these classes, to know what's needed to regroup. All right. So real quick, I just gave a quick little synopsis, a quick little preface into the topic tonight of let us regroup. I gave you just a little snippet of what it means for us so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians for us to regroup, right? I gave you the example of Christian Kirk, where everybody's seen the assassination of Christian Kirk on television, right? And if you don't know, right, there is a war brewing up that's slowly brewing up, right? That's going on with these territories in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, right? All them people over there, the Sunni, the Shiites, all them, the ISIS, all them type of groups over there, they're fighting for territory. They're fighting for resources, right? And America is in it, right? America is in it. So it's important to know that once America fall, who our real God is, who we need to be adhering to and looking up to, who we need to be praying to, right? So real quick inference right here, real quick inference. What do you think? What does it mean to you about regrouping? Like, right, what does this topic mean? Like, what you think about this topic? It's time to regroup. What you think is going on? What you think regrouping mean? What are we regrouping from? What are we regrouping from? Right? And this is your time, right? You know, I like to open up with discussion, right? You know, I like to open up with some type of discussion. What does it mean to regroup in this day and age? Right? Because regrouping is important now. It's important. What does it mean for us to regroup in this day and age? All right. All right. There we go. We got some strong answers in here. I'm like, Martin, did you miss me? Was that Martin? Y'all coming in here strong. Did you miss me? Hey. All right. Young man Jabbar, I believe that's your name, brother. All right. He said, coming together under a common cause, regrouping from and against our oppression. That's heavy. Right? Sister Tara Bob, she said to combat together as a nation. Damn right, sis. That's good. All right. Young man David said, gather ourselves back together. Damn right. That's the mission. That is the mission. Sister Zara Khan said, collect ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, physically, and socially. Socially, damn right. Heavy on the socially. Sister Ross said, decorum from the insanity of the word and follow the law, argues, and commandments. I mean, law, statutes, and commandments. I got you, yo. I feel you. And shalom, sis, shalom, yeah, how shalom, thought about Shimmy, I was shy, sister, now checking in from North Virginia, shalom, right? We in here. Damn right. What y'all said was heavy, right? Because right before our eyes, we're seeing Babylon fall, right? Babylon's falling. How is it falling? Because nation is going against nation, right? You seeing these things put right there in the forefront, and you seeing assassinations right in front of your face. Probably butchered that word, right? You see all of these things, man. How many of us seen? Why do you think? I was going to have an open discussion, right? Because brotherhood and sisterhood is important, right? As a brother, I should be able to listen to you. We should be able to communicate. So this is a form of brotherhood, sisterhood right here, right? A form of communication, right? What do you think? How do you feel? What's your thoughts on the whole Christian Kirk situation? And I'm gonna give you time to type. I'm gonna give you time to digress. Right? What do you think? Right? Because this assassination was on live TV, right? Right? Misdirection, all right, social media against the freedom of speech in school systems. All right. Are you pertaining to? Okay, that's a great answer. I'm trying to figure out whether you pertain. Are you pertaining to my question? I just asked Sister Ron. I believe so. I think. All right. Officer Yagadar said misdirection. Okay, the assassination of Christian Kirk was misdirection. What do you mean by that? All right. All right. All right. Sorry, Amadah. Okay. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Thaba Shem Yahweh Shah. Sister Amadah checking in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Most High in Christ. How do you feel about this assassination that was? I mean, It is all on TikTok or social media, whatever the case may be, right? Okay, damn right. Young man Jamar said, I do not care about Kirk. Damn, that's the great spirit to have. That's the greatest spirit to have, right? I remember I seen the clip. I seen the clip. I don't know where that where they was where his speech was being held at. But it was against he was talking with this black kid. He had twists in his hair, whatever the case may be. Black guy, black kid, black young man, right? And the question was, why do you think? The question went along the lines of, why do you think why do you think African Americans is at the bottom of the barrel versus other races of people, right? Because Christian Kirk's side was, well, you know, as being a black man, as being a black person, you cannot hound yourself over slavery as being your major setback, because the Jewish people went through the Holocaust and they was able to get back. They was able to get their finances back, and they was able to regain inheritance, right? I mean, like, they was able to find their foot in the world, right? He said that the Asian people, the Asian population, the Asian race had came over here, was poor, right? Was poor, and now they're one of the richest minorities in the world, right? He went along the lines of, you know, why you think that is? And he said, and Christian Kirk said, the reason is because the father is out of the family. The father is not present in the African American household. I'm like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about, because in the outside looking in, right? Basically, Christian Kirk was saying there is no father figure to guide the African American race into showing them some type of structure in life, right? The whole time he don't know that the reason why the black man is not in the house is because of the oppressor, right? That when Section 8 came into play, and when food stamps came into play, the government took the black man out of the household, right? It was a point in time that when the Section 8 people came around your house and they found some type of man's shoes or whatever the case that may be around there, they're gonna cut off your check. You done, because there is a man in here present to take care. You don't need us, right? So that it forced the black woman, right, to lean more on the government versus the man, right? Child support became more of a prominent thing, right? Everything's food stamps, Section 8, right? Right? So this guy Christian Kirk ain't have his facts right. We had our foot, we had the oppressor had their foot on our necks for many years, right? So that argument was very invalid. All right, right. Sister Deborah said, I'm sick of hearing about him, right? Sister Anna said, that's their business, right? Young man David said, the situation is being used to attack black people when we had nothing to do with his death. And you know what's crazy about that? You know what's crazy about that? It's black people defending this man, even through this man's unaliving. Even through this man unaliving, they still saying, you know, no one death should be on TV like that, publicized like that. You know, he has some valid points, this and the third. Like, well, goddamn. Young man David said, black folk were never given anything to redeem us, like a so-called Jew, like laying a war against their oppressor. Right. Officer Yagadar said, "Devil on devil crime." Right. We the scapegoat. We perfected spewing lies against blacks and Latinos that made devils blameless. And I think Amalek hit them to keep the narrative about the war in their favor. Right. Damn right. Young man Jabbar said, "I refuse to believe Christian Kirk wasn't aware of that. I refuse to underestimate my enemies. They are smarter and more aware than they pretend to be." Right. I mean, hey, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But the whole point behind of opening up this can of worms, right, is that we as a people, right, still want to turn the other cheek when it comes to the oppressor. Right? It's like you categorize and you can not let's take Christian Kirk out of it. Not even the unaliving of him, just the unaliving of any oppressor, right? They grieve over their unaliving as if they was a George Floyd or Sandra Macy or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may, like gracious. We lack that knowledge of knowing, right, that we are above other races, and knowing that the knowledge that these oppressors bring onto us is not the knowledge. That's what's needed, right? Real quick, just to open up, let's go to Hosea 4:6. Bob Kashan. This is just to open it up, right? This is to open up. And this is why, right? This is the real reason why us as a so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians is not coming, is still got a foot on our neck right now. Because Hosea 4:6 is going to explain that, right? I mean, let's think about it real quick. I mean, I don't know how many history majors that we have in here. I don't know how many people in here that really study the breakdown of the history and everything of that nature. But just think about it real quick. These Europeans, right, came over from Europe, came over here, right? These Europeans came over here in America and took land. So much so, and we as people, right, Native Indians, took them in, showed them how to crop, showed them how to survive harsh winters, right? Showed them these things, right? And what did they bring over here? They bring nothing but destruction. They bring diseases, war. They depopulated our race and like just off of them coming over here and integrating with us. So much so that they came over here, learned how to live over here, these Europeans, these oppressors that I'm talking about, just in case you just attended class, right? They came over here, right? Learned the ways of living over here, right? And what? Took over the land, started a war. Thanksgiving, right? So much so, right? So much so that now, right, they not only took over the land, right? They're taxing us on land. Ain't that about a bitch? Salaki. Right? We as a people have to get out of that notion of thinking everyone is our friend, aka the Christian church, aka all them other false religions out here, even them damn fake ass Israelite camps that's accepting them white people into their groups, right? So Hosea 4:6, right? My people, My is showing a possession, right? This is mine, right? My people, the Most High said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What is that lack of knowledge? Going out and voting. How you going to vote for your own damn oppressor? How you going to do that? How you going to vote for your own oppressor just to be more oppressed? Nothing good is coming out of this. All them Latinos that voted for Donald Trump, nothing good came out of that. Just get your ass deported. Right? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? And of course, in here, we're going to say, well, the lack of knowledge that they don't know is these laws, statutes, and commandments and know how to abide by them. Right? That's what we would say, which we are right. But we have to build this nation, brothers, as brothers and sisters. Right? Because our people is destroyed for a lack of knowledge, thinking that they could wear a crystal around their neck and bring in some type of energy that's gonna behoove, that's gonna protect them from any other voodoo or whatever the case may be, any other bad energy, right? They think that going around and praying 30 times a day on their knees, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, whatever the hell they saying, thinking that the Most High, thinking that that's right. Right? Or sitting Indian style. What's that? Russell Simmons? Sitting Indian style and pretending to be a damn monk. Meditating. Thinking that's the way. Right? Or worshiping a sun. Right? That's what they're saying all day. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Right? Or thinking, or you out here worshiping the sun. Because the sun gives light and it vibrates energy. And that's what you should be worshiping. Or you out here smoking weed as a Rastafarian, thinking that the weed plant comes from the earth, so it's natural. God gave us this because he felt as though that we are stressful on this earth, so we need something to relax us. And he gave us weed. Hey, that's crazy. Right? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Right? Our people is special ed out there. Salakia. They don't know, they're not understanding how dumb they sound or their actions are. Right? They are destroyed for this lack of knowledge. Right? Why? Because thou was Old English for you, thou has rejected knowledge. You rejected knowledge. What knowledge have you rejected? You rejected the knowledge that Christ didn't die for everybody. You rejected the knowledge that the so-called Blacks, Latinos are above every nation on the earth. You rejected the knowledge that color doesn't matter, and Christ could be yellow, red, black, and white. He is precious in his, we is precious in his sight. You don't believe in the color. Right? You rejected the knowledge of not eating that crab, pork, shrimp, and lobster. You rejected the knowledge as a man of being circumcised physically. You rejected the knowledge as a woman not being able, not speaking, not preaching this, not doing none of that. Sidebar. This past Saturday, right? Officer Yaraj, Officer Matazar, Officer Yagadar, and I, we went to Home Depot, and we was in our gear. You know what I'm saying? We was being attention grabbers, as we should, and we had walked down this aisle, and a man was with his, I'm assuming his spouse, his wife, and he was like, "Hey, bro, excuse me, man. Who are y'all, man? Right? Who are y'all?" And obviously Ross said, we Israelites, we teach the truth about the Bible, about the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, right? We believe the Bible is only about the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, right? And guess who came out the woodworks? His damn wife. "Oh, I teach the Bible too. I teach the Bible." That lack of knowledge is shown right there. If you teach the Bible, you would know that you ain't supposed to be teaching the goddamn Bible. If you know the Bible. That's how much our so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians lack knowledge. Something simple as that. Right? You lack that knowledge of knowing that because you rejected it. And I'm pretty sure if Officer Yaraj would have went down more in that rabbit hole and said that, she would have rejected the knowledge. Because how you gonna tell me I can't preach? She was a Jehovah's Witness. You lack the knowledge of being a Jehovah's Witness. You lack the knowledge of being a Christian. You lack the knowledge of being they're Christian, like the fake Christian, right? Because as we follow Christ, so we will be Christian because we follow Christ, not the Christianity that the oppressor brought over here. Let's distinguish that, right? You lack that knowledge. So my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. You rejected the knowledge of not voting. Don't vote. You rejected that knowledge of going to this Christian Kirk TED talk and actually siding with him, or being happy that he's coming. You rejected that knowledge of you wanting to take a picture with the damn president, because you acknowledge him as being the Almighty, or so much of a powerful being. Really, you is more powerful than him. So my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. So, let's pause. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Okay, Mr. Christian man, Miss Christian woman, right? You think you got all the goddamn sense, right? But you rejecting the knowledge that's coming from the true priests and prophets, that's being spoken out from the true priests and prophets. You're rejecting that knowledge, right? So therefore, you're going to reject the knowledge that I'm sending forth to give to you, right? You're going to reject that knowledge, so I'm going to reject you, right? You ain't going to be no priest under me. You ain't gonna be speaking nothing under my name, right? Seeing, right? Why is he gonna reject you? He gonna reject you because what? He's seeing you, because that was old English for you. The Most High is seeing you, seeing that you've forgotten the law of God, of the Most High power. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. You forgotten the law of me, of God. You forgot that law. The simple laws, right? If you're a farmer, You forgot the simple laws of sharing your crops, of growing things. You forgot them laws. Like it's over a whole bunch of laws, but whatever law that I remember Captain, and this was heavy, because I don't want to be talking like I'm talking out the side of my neck, right? I was watching the Car Chronicles. I was watching Captain Tazariak, Car Chronicles, and the caller called in, I believe, and he said, "Okay, as you being an Israelite, and it's over 600 some odd laws, do you follow all them laws?" And Captain Zaria said no. And the car was like, oh, like hyping it up, right? Captain Zaria was like, hold on. The laws, that's all those laws don't pertain to me if I'm not in that type of area. For example, if I'm a farmer, there are certain laws for the crops for you to farm and the crops for you to give away and give away to the most commandment. It's laws in farming, right? It's laws in making clothes, right? There is law, is a dietary law, right? It's laws in making clothes, it's laws in farming, right? It's different laws for different avenues that you're in this as being an Israelite. But if you're not a farmer, if you're not a one that make clothes or this, that, and the third, right? Those laws don't pertain to you because that's not your alley. But the laws that do pertain to you in your everyday life is the way that you can eat, right? Attending these feast days, right? Right? So seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, you've forgotten the law of me, right? So therefore, I will also forget thy children. I'm going to forget your children. I'm going to hit you where it hurt. I'm going to forget them, right? Oh, he got canceled. She got canceled. Oh, okay. I don't know you. Depart from me, right? He needed, so-and-so need a heart transplant. Oh, and so-and-so is going blind in the eyes. Okay, and my son just had a heart attack, stroke, daughter. Okay, and you gotta feel this punishment. You gotta feel this because you rejected me, right? You rejected me. It's like rejecting our children, just like Trey Reed yesterday. Trey Reed, inform me on that. I'm lost in the sauce. Trey Reed. Okay. Oh, there was no evidence of foul play. This is Trey Reed right here. All right. Okay. We got some type of documentation. All right. 21 years old, found hung in a tree in Mississippi. Man, strange fruit. He became strange fruit. Good gracious. Delta State University, 21 years old, found hung in a tree in Mississippi. You got to understand that the Most High allowed these things to happen, right? Officer Yagadar said two broken arms and a broken leg, but no fouls played. Gracious. Sister Carl said he was hung while at school. Is Delta State at HBCU? Or is this a PWI? PWI stands for predominantly white institution. HBCU stands for historically black college university. So is Delta State University a HBCU or PWI? I mean, If it's a PWI, all right. But if it's an HBCU, goddamn. Okay, a lot of PWI with the long history. Oh, okay. I mean, well, goddamn. In Mississippi, they still got them sundowns. My God, okay. Sheesh. Well, that's just like the boy. It's like the boy. He was in that was in high school, right? That they found him rolled up in a wrestling mat, right? They found him rolled up in it. This happened years ago. A black kid, he had dreads, and I guess there was beefing or whatever the case may be with this white kid. I guess they beat him up, whatever the case may be. Rolled him up in a wrestling mat. He was found in the wrestling mat, body decayed. And them brothers ain't get no type of punishment. Sister Tawana said pictures of him bruised also, but they have a black man on the news saying it was self-done. Like we just don't believe. We just see that's the damn problem right there. That's the problem. That's the that damn Christianity, that damn Martin Luther King, that's the damn problem. That Kendrick Johnson, Kendrick Johnson. This sounds like Kendrick Johnson, what I was just talking about, right? Initial investigation on January 11, 2013, the body of Kendrick Johnson was discovered in the gymnasium of Loudoness High School in Valdosta, Georgia, found head first in the center of a vertical rolled up wrestling mat. The body was discovered by fellow students who had climbed up to the top. So the body was discovered while they was in school. You mean to tell me them cameras in that damn school couldn't? Come on, man. Kendrick Johnson, they ruled that accidental. See, that's what's problem with our people today. Thinking that our oppressor just don't do no wrong. Thinking our damn oppressor just don't do no goddamn wrong. We lack that knowledge. That's the knowledge that we lack. And it's sad. It's sad, right? Take me to Ezekiel 35 and 5. Right? Let's go to 35 and 5, right? Right? We lack knowledge, right? As a people, we lack knowledge. This is why it's time for us to regroup, right? This is why it's time for us to regroup, right? This is why it's time for us to understand, right? It's time for us to understand as a nation that, that we ain't like them. We gotta fight for each other. We gotta make sure our brotherhood and our sisterhood is strong with one another, so that we could bring in more people, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, so they can understand the knowledge. Not that the dumb stuff that they learned from the church, right? So this is Ezekiel. Let me get the one in the chat if you understand what's going on right here, real quick before I go on, because I don't want to seem like I'm rambling. We got some good participation going on. Let's get the one in the chat so we can. This is show that we understand something, right? Or get a two if you don't understand anything, right? All right, let's get the one we understand exactly, what's going on. Okay. All right, no sweat. We still in the game. No sweat. All right. So we lack knowledge, right? It's like we being dummified. It's like our oppressor got us like them strings with the dummies, and they got us like this, like the oppressor hand is doing this, and we just doing all this. We doing whatever the oppressor wants us to do, right? We doing whatever the oppressor wants to do because we're listening to them. whatever bull stuff they got to say, right? Not knowing that they is not for us, right? That damn Martin Luther King is it, man? It's all his fault. He brainwashed it even more. So much so that he even said out his own mouth, I'm afraid that I integrated my people into a burning house. Meaning what? I brought my people, I thought integration was good, but however, I'm leading them into more problems. Shit, segregation was good. Now that I integrated them with America, what wanting to be in America, right? Now we're taking on their wars. Not only are we taking on their wars, we're being thrown in their war. We're being drafted in their war. So it's like a win-win with them. We either gonna be unalive through being sprayed with hoses and bitten by dogs and beat up by poles, or we're gonna go in war and be on the front line and be unalive that way. Right? So we gaining the knowledge of our oppressor, not knowing that they don't even like us. What does Ezekiel 35:5 say? It says, because thou was Old English for you, because you has had a perpetual hatred, right? A perpetual hatred, right? And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, right? In the time that their iniquity had an end, right? So this is what Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians have to understand, right? Have to understand that the oppressor, right, never stopped hating us, right? He never took a rest from hating us. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. What does perpetual mean? Thou hast had a perpetual. What does it mean to be perpetual? What is that? Well, what my dictionary people at in here tonight? Right? Perpetual. What is that? A perpetual hatred. Continuing. Damn right, Sister Ra. Damn right, Sister Call. Never ending. Never ending. Damn right, young man Jabari. Continuous. Damn right. Damn right. So our oppressor never stopped hating us. Never did. Been hating us since Jacob and Esau. Right? Never got over that. That hatred been inherited. That hatred been inherited. You know how some illnesses, right? Like say if you like, yo, you go to the doctor, right? And they ask you, do you have a history of high blood in your family? Is there anyone that have high blood in your family? Is there anyone that ever had cancer in your family, or whatever the case may be? You might say yes, you might say no, right? Because they're asking these questions because they're trying to see what is there any underlying issues that's been inherited, right? That we may need to look at while checking on you. Well, goddamn. If the damn oppressor was there any type of office and had to check and had to do some type of application and to ask them, has there been any type of hatred or anything going on in your past life, they would check yes. Because this hatred, they inherited this hatred. Just like you may have inherited high blood pressure or whatever the case may be. Right? The oppressor has inherited hatred. You may think that they are friends with you. You may think that Billy is just the best pal that you ever had. You may go out and play some beer pong, play some happy sack, right? You may go out and hit a bar, but as soon as shit hit the fan, Billy gonna say you did it. Billy gonna say that, well, you know, I didn't have the open container. He bought the bottle and we was drinking. Oh yeah, we was smoking, but he had all the weed. He's my weed man, or whatever the case may be, right? Because at the end of the day, you like a throwaway. The oppressor is looking at you like a throwaway. So because thou hast had a perpetual, continuous hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, has shed the blood of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? Them Quakers came over here and shed the blood of our Native Indian people, of our Gadites and Reuben, right? Shed the blood, right? By force too. By force, right? So by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, right? What does that mean? Now, the Most High is explaining what happened to that hatred, right? Us blacks would say we hate the oppressor, but went and touched a hair on his head. We will say we dislike, we hate Christian Kirk, or we hate Donald Trump, or we will still vote for him, right? We hate our boss Billy because he just keep not doing this and not doing that, right? But we still gonna show up to the boss meetings with a happy smile on our face. Hey, all right, yes sir, yes sir, right? Damn right, Officer Yabakar. They be like, if Billy can't come, neither can I. Can't be discriminating. We is out of this thing. We're not, slavery is over. Right? If Billy can't come, neither can I. Like, goddamn, huh? So by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, right? Right? The Most High is explaining what happened to that hatred, right? Us blacks will say we hate the oppressor, right? But wouldn't touch a hair on his head, right? The oppressor does stuff to us. He did something to us so much that the Most High is going to repay him for what he did, right? Officer Yagadar said Billy ain't got a racist bone in his body. Right? The oppressor does stuff to us, man, so much that the Lord is going to repay him for what he did. He's going to wipe him from the face of the earth, right? The Lord is going to wipe the lineage all the way out, right? So because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, a continuous hatred, right? And has shed the blood of the children of Israel, of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Right? Let's go to verse 6. Let's go to verse 6. This needs to be brought out. Ezekiel 35 and 6. Therefore, right, as I live, saith the Most High Power, right, I will prepare thee unto blood. The Most High is preparing the oppressor for their death for what they did. So much so that, okay, I'm gonna start having you guys. I'm gonna depopulate some things. I'm gonna show y'all that y'all don't have that much power. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you unalived on live TV. Right? Now I'm gonna say this. I know we got some skilled blacks, some skilled so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. I know we got some skilled shooters, right? But who do you know? We all know what race of people is going to be at the top of that damn building, getting that perfect shot and sniping that man out. If it wasn't just a regular hinky-dink oppressor, it had to be some type of government. Like, come on now. Who do you know? We more skilled with the handguns, the automatics. We can snipe some stuff too. But as far as taking it to the extent, right? Now, man, hey, I ain't gonna put the passes, but come on now. He's gonna allow these things to happen. So much so that, okay, I'm not just gonna just see my people being unalived, even though this is what's gotta happen. I'm gonna show the world as well that, okay, I'm the God Almighty, mighty. I create good and evil, right? So I'm going to create evil, devil on devil, just like what Officer Yakadar said earlier. I'm going to create devil on devil crime. Instead of it always being black on black crime, I'm going to create some devil on devil crime, right? So she calls it this year the deer on the experience, right? So therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, right? And blood shall pursue thee. So the Most High is preparing the oppressor for their death for what they did, right? He's going to repay them, right, unto blood for what they did. And blood shall pursue thee. What's happening to the oppressor right now? Christian Kirk just got unalived on live TV, right? Right? We got what? We got these Ukraine and Russia, right? Right, unaliving each other. Right? We got these power battles that's happening in Iran, Iraq over resources that's unaliving each other, right? I'm gonna make it easier so when my son come back, Yahushua come back and destroy this world in an hour, that it would be easy work. I'm gonna make it easy for my son. So I'm gonna have these nations go against nations, right? That's what I'm gonna do, right? Right? How do you know that the oppressor is being prepared to blood? Well, easy. It's happening right in front of our face. Every government has been wrestling with the Most High, right? That's why you see the replacement theory, right? That's why you see the ICE coming to get our brothers and sisters. That's why you see the government getting rid of inclusion on jobs like the DEI. Something that Christian Kirk was an advocate for, right? He was for getting rid of the DEI, right? But the way he put it, his understanding of it, right, was that the DEI is not a racial thing, right? He said getting rid of the DEI is a good thing because more qualified people will be put in place, right? Versus people that's not that qualified, right? I'm just like, how did that sound? So you saying the colored people is not qualified to be put in place? That's why those people is getting furloughed from their jobs. So we're not qualified to be in these facilities, right? I didn't understand that, right? So that's why you see the government getting rid of inclusion, right, on jobs, aka the DEI, right? We are in the last days, right? The preparing unto blood is those wars that's brewing up. That's why you see every nation, China, Russia, Iraq, Iran, Israel, all preparing for these nuclear weapons. The NATO, which is it's not the nations, it's a national. I forgot. What I said. What I thought it was. It's not the National Alliance Treaty Organization. I forgot what it is, right? But that's why the NATO, right? These nations that's a part of the NATO is preparing themselves, right, with all these nuclear weapons, so they could go to war with each other, because they feel as though somebody got to come out on top, and it's not going to be another nation. It's going to be them. And if one got to die, then we all got to die. That's how this whole war is being looked at right now. Everybody getting their nukes together, right? Everybody making sure their button's working, so when it's time to press that button, shit could get on and popping, right? The Most High is preparing, right? He's preparing unto blood. He's preparing these wars, right? Ukraine and Russia, right? The Ukrainians are running out of soldiers, so now they're dropping the age of the draft to 18, right? They're running out of men. They need men, right? Europe right now is almost bankrupt. They are shedding a bunch of blood on the earth. The Spaniards, the French, Africa kicking out the French people, the Netherlands, right? All these European countries is fitting to go to war, right? The oppressor think he can fight the Lord, but he can't. The Lord is setting this up. He is setting this up. He's setting up this whole narrative. And I gave y'all the definition of a narrative. Y'all know what the narrative is. A narrative is a story, a plot. He's setting this thing up. All right. It says, sitteth, right? Thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, right? America has been in wars after wars. They've been creating wars on the earth, right? Since you like blood, right? The Lord, guess what's going to happen? The Lord going to give you blood. Blood is going to follow you, right? Blood is going to follow you. Now you got to bury your sons, aka Christian Kirk. I know y'all tired of hearing that name. And your daughters, your fathers, your mothers. You're going to have to bury them, right? Let's go to verse 7, Bob Kashan. Right? That's why it's important for us to regroup. Verse 7, Bob Kashan. That's why it's important for us to regroup as a nation, so we would know that the people that we following don't have the knowledge. They lack the knowledge. And us following them is forcing us to lack the knowledge as well. Right? It's forcing us to lack knowledge as well. Let's go to Ezekiel 35 and 7, Bob Kashan. Right? It's forcing us to lack knowledge as well. Right? right? Am I right there? Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm right there. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate. Right? What does desolate mean? What does desolate mean? What does desolate mean? Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate. In addition to that, cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. Damn right, young man Jabbar, barren, right? Damn right, since you're called deserted. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate. In addition to that, making it barren, making it empty, right? And cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. So ain't no, once you gone, you gone. Ain't no returning from this oppressor, right? The Lord wants to fight for us black people, man. We got to stop trying to choose our leader. The Lord already chose our leader, and that's Christ. You do not have a choice in this place, right? You thought you chose to live in the projects. No, that was by design. You don't have a choice in this place. The oppressor will have you thinking that you have a choice. Just like he doesn't have a choice in deciding his future. Right? Let's go to verse 8, Bob Kashaw. Go on down to verse 8. Right? Right? In addition to this, in addition to cutting him off, in addition to cutting him off so much so that he's not going to be able to return. Right? It ain't going to be no getting coming out of this, passing out and returning. Right? In addition to this judgment, right? And the conjunction and means in addition to, right? And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. Good God Almighty. Right? You thought the Navy was powerful. You thought the Army was powerful. You thought the Marines was powerful. You thought the Air Force was powerful. Right? You thought the U.S. government military was so powerful. Not more powerful than the Most High. So much so that I'm going to fill his mountains with slain men. He's going to fill his area, his land with dead men. Right? The Lord is describing something that is poetic, right? And that is judgment. He's describing the judgment, right? And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Well, gracious, right? As a black man, you can't see this place falling. So what you do then? Oh, no. I'm going to make sure Iran don't do it. I'm going to make sure, no. You know what, son? Go ahead and join the army. Daughter, go ahead and join the Navy. Right? Save this country. Right? So what you do, you try to join our military. Because as a black man, you can't see this world falling. You can't see Babylon falling. So you join the military. You start being a Democrat. You start being a Republican, right? The Lord wants to fight for us black people, man, right? But you got to stop trying to choose your leader, because you choosing your leader, you're lacking your knowledge. You're being dumb, right? You're leading your own self into destruction. You won't have no time to think about regrouping, because you don't think that you need to regroup with any nation. You don't think that you need to regroup with the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, because you lack knowledge so much. You lack knowledge so much that you think that we need to be integrated with our oppressor to make this world a better place. That's how we're in our predicament now, right? Right. So just like the oppressor doesn't have a choice to choose his future, right? I'm reading from the top again. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. You don't have a choice to choose who your leader is, right? As being a part of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you don't have a choice to choose who your leader. Your leader is Christ. You don't have to vote for a president. You don't have to vote for someone to make sure you got your taxes and everything. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, your leader is Christ, right? And the overseer is the commanding general, Yohana, to make sure that you're following Christ, right? So what do tyrants like to use to control people? That's my question for you. We almost there. My question for you is, what do tyrants like to use to control people? What do tyrants like to use to control people? You can type it in the chat. What do tyrants like to use to control? Okay, you had. Sister Carl said violence. You stay on that right track, but give me another word. You're on the right track, but you gotta stay on that track. Young man Jabbar said hope. No, not hope. Sister Tom Bob said war. Y'all almost okay. Okay, let me give you an analogy. Damn right, Sister Carl, you hit it. Fear. Ding, ding, ding. Give that sister a hand. Right? Fear. Tyrants like to use fear to control people, right? That's why every day on the news you're hearing about this war and that war, this resource and that resource, the inflation, the this value of the damn dollar, right? Everything, taxes, everything, cost of living, everything, right? Black people are in fear. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians are in fear, right? Hispanics are in fear right now, right? Because of what? They fear of getting separated from their families, right? Black people fear of of having a job the next day. So what they do, they join the military because they know they're a lot for having a job. They know they're a lot for having some benefits in their job. They join the military. Right? Right? Donald Trump is kicking Hispanics out of the country. Right? He signed an executive order to eliminate natural identity. The fear is real. He's canceling the VDOE, which stands for Virginia Department of Education, right? And allowing some billionaires to take over, not knowing what the hell to do. People is in fear, right? Right? Why are we in fear? Right? Why are we in fear? And as you answer this question of why do you feel as though our people are in fear, let me get Matthew 10 and 28. Let me get Matthew 10 and 28. Right? I need you to answer, right? Why are we in fear? Right? Why are we in fear? And while you answering that question, right, let me get Matthew 10 and 28. Right? Why are we in fear? Someone answer that for me. Why are we in fear? Why are we in fear? Before I break this question, before I break the scripture down, why are we in fear? We, as in so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Why are we in fear? That's a great generalized answer, Sister Call, because we have no knowledge, right? Right? We fear as though that we don't have no guidance because we just don't know. Young man Jabbar said our tomorrow has never been promised. Right? Right? We in fear because we lack this knowledge. Right? But I'm gonna tell you what, if you in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, their fear is going to go away with. Why? Because you're going to be fed this milk of these laws, statutes, and commandments, and what you're going to do, you're going to live by them. So what? So what's the effect of that? So if this whole Babylon come in shambles, you ain't got nothing to fear because you know, Lord willing, that you have a chance of eternal life. That's why you should be a part of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Because you want to give yourself a chance to have eternal life. You want to give yourself a chance to see this heaven that's going to be on earth. You want to give yourself a chance to be crowned. That is why you was in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That is why you is attending this class. Even if you're not in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You want to gain this knowledge so you can have that chance. So you won't have to be a part of that 2/3 that get slain. Right? So this is Matthew 10 and 28. What? So it's in red. So if it's in red, who's speaking? Christ. Right? Christ. He said, and fear not them which kill the body. Right? Why is Christ saying, fear not them that kill the body? Right? Why is Christ saying, fear not them that which kill the body? Because our oppressors do kill. He do unalive. So why is Christ saying, fear not them that kill the body? Why do you think Christ is saying that? And fear not them which kill the body. Why do you think Christ is saying, fear not them which kill the body? Just throw something out there. Why do you think Christ is saying, and fear not them to kill the body, right? Right, young man David, because we should only fear the Most High. Right? And fear not them which kill the body, right? But are not able to kill the soul. You can kill my body, but you can't kill my soul. But rather fear him that is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Right? That means only fear God. He has the power to destroy your body, right, and your soul. Real quick, take a little break real quick, Baba Kashan. Real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, real quick.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
Talk to me. Played the whore on the Lord and served other gods. Remember the days of old, we the lost tribes. They don't believe the Bible. They say a white man wrote it, but still celebrate them holidays from white men, don't they? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. Kyrie tweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told them to apologize. Remember slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed. So it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from my heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's what my weapon is. And I never let these crackers take it from me. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
We build this shit
nigga, I done lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work. Hide behind a smile while I'm walking with this hurt. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the council wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive you, brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart. Man, mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.
All right. All right. Okay, young man Jabari, he asked why he's aware. What specifically does con mean? Con means yes. Adawan, Lord. So yes, Lord. You'll say that to men that's high, that's over you, right? Showing it's like you're showing your humbleness, you're showing your respect. Con one con, right? Con not the one, right? Yes, Lord. Yes, sir. Right? That's what con means. Con means yes. Young man David said, "What when it says hell, that's referring to our conditions now, right? Hell, yes, yes. When it says hell, right? Now, but rather fear him that is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Yes, conditions. Hell is not a what the Christian church. No, the water, sir. The water, man. Hell is not what the Christian church try to visualize. Try to use imagery, right? Imagery like they try to paint pictures with their words, right? It's not no fiery place with a picket, a guy holding a damn fork with damn horns and shit, horns and stuff, man. Hell is a condition. I'm stumbling on my words, so I ain't trying to say no bad words, right? But hell is a condition, man, right? Hell is a condition. When it says hell, it's referring to our conditions, yeah. But fear, so therefore, fear the Most High that's able to destroy your soul, right? Meaning, like when she ain't got no soul, you ain't got no life, right? And your body in hell, and your body in this, right? Right? In this condition. And that's a whole nother breakdown. The heaven and hell, right? That's a whole, I could give that what does heaven and hell mean, right? That whole thing, because Christianity programmed in our mind that hell is like a place we're gonna be falling in the pit and falling forever in the pit in fire and burning. Nah, hell is a condition. That's why it's gonna be heaven on earth. Right? It's gonna be heaven on earth. That's like the Lord's Prayer. Right? Last one. Let's go to the Isaiah 31:1. All right, it's my last one. Isaiah 31:1, right? It's the precept of this. Okay. It's a precept to Matthew 10:28. Isaiah 31:1. Right? Because we're not supposed to live in the fear, right? So here we go. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. What does woe mean? What does woe mean? Dan Russell should call. Dan Russell talk about destruction. Right? Great sorrow. Okay. Destruction. So woe means destroy, destruction to them. Right? Destroy them that go down to Egypt for help. Right? Right? They go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many. There are many. There are many. See, that Egypt is like that government, right? Well, what's new that go to them people in Egypt, right? Mizrahims. Woe to them that go to them oppressors. Because when we was in Egypt, we was oppressed. So woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, right? You ain't gonna see the ISUPK going asking the Christian church for help or any other oppressor for help. That's defeating the purpose. So woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses. These men that's on horses, that's on, and in chariots, right? Because there are many of these men, these people in this government that got this equipment. They got these horses, they got these things that we need, these chariots, these things that we need, right? These resources. Because there are many of them. There are many of these men, right, that have these things, that have these resources. And in the horsemen, because they are very strong, right? Going to these people, these men, because they are very strong. Destroy these people that's going to these people for these resources, because these people are strong. America is the bully of this world. This is a strong, so-called strong country, right? Right? Got all the nukes, the biggest military, right? And things of that nature, right? However, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. So you're going to go to these men for help, but you're not going to look unto the Holy One of Israel, right? Neither seek the Lord. So destroy you people, because you lack this knowledge, right? This what happens when you lack this knowledge. You're going to get destroyed because you feel as though you putting all your trust into these men that has a perpetual hatred against you anyway. You put your trust into them, right? Because they are very strong, right? And they had their foot on your neck for years. So if you can't beat them, then what? I guess I'll join them, right? So you're gonna go to them for help because you get that right now assistance, rather than looking into the Holy One of Israel. Not even trying to seek the Most High power. That's why it's time for us to regroup. That's why it's time for us to regroup. It's time for us to regroup because we need to gain the knowledge that we lack. It's time for us to regroup because brotherhood and sisterhood synchronize with each other. So if we are strong in our brotherhood and our sisterhood, we can bring more brothers and sisters into this truth so they can gain this knowledge. So they can ask questions like young man Jabbar, right? And young man David, right? They can catch on. They can ask what this lingo, what does this mean? Right? Those questions are needed, are wanted, because they are these men and women that's coming in is trying to gain this knowledge. They seek the knowledge. And that's the best decision any person just coming into the ISUPK can do. Ask a lot of questions. Right? Let me get the one in the chat if you understand that real quick. We done. Let me get the one in the chat if you understand that real quick. All right? Let me get the one in that chat if you understand that real quick. All right? Because it's important. It's important for us to regroup. Right? We seeing all these things happening in front of our eyes. Right? We paying attention to the wars. We paying attention to all the social media of the things that's going on in social media. Right? Right? It's time for us to regroup and gain this knowledge that's needed for us to have that eternal life, so we can see this heaven, so we can be a part of the kingdom that Christ is going to be ahead of, right? So that we can be the ones, we can be the government of this heaven that's going to be here on this earth, right? All right, so with that, we are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. All right, upholding convocations, we got the Feast of the blowing trumpets, right? Right, we got that coming up on Sunday. All right, so let's make sure that we all in attendance. All in attendance there. I know I'm gonna see my brothers in there. I know I'm gonna see my sisters in there. All right, make sure that we are in attendance. All right, so we will be able to follow that law. All right, we'll be able to follow that law, because following attending these feast days is you following the law. All right, so we want to make sure that we are following the law. All right, Sister Ross said, I'm ready. Hey, you know what it says? I'm glad you're ready. All right, downright the water. All right, so with that, all right, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shema L'Tah Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're 1 West. They're 1 West. They're 1 West. They're